Hello friends, Intuitive Rene here, bringing you tarot scopes for the month of June 2022. June is here, it has arrived, and I hope you have survived this far. It's been a crazy year. I want to use the word whirlwind, but I don't want to actually use that word because it's such a horrible one. But it has been one of those years, hasn't it? Just when we think we get a handle on things, just when we think things are okay, something happens and we completely shifted off course again. So I think it's another reason why these tarot scopes are proving to be ever so popular. Last month, I think you all really enjoyed your tarot scopes. I had terrible audio last month, and I do apologize for that. But I assure you those problems are fixed and resolved, and we will have no audio problems going forward. So we're recording June 2022 tarot scopes. If this is the first time that you are looking at tarot scopes or watching tarot scopes with me, welcome. Let me just explain to you how it works so that you have an idea of what you've actually what's in store for you with the next couple of minutes. So I record one intro video, that's this one. So every single of the 12 tarot scopes that I do all get the same intro added in front of the video. Then I turn the camera around so that you're looking straight at the table, and I do the reading from there. So you don't get to see my face during the reading. Not important at that point. What's important is the cards. So we switch the camera around so that you get the hands down top version of the table so that you can see the cards that we do. The reading that I'm going to do for you is the same format or layout as what I did last month in May. Because I just thought it gave us so much. There was just so much information there, and relevant, appropriate information, and not, not light-hearted stuff. It was like real. And I thought that was quite good. I enjoyed it. So I'm going to stick to the same format. The only difference that I'm doing this month are the cards that I'm working with, and I've also added in another set of cards. So we're going to start off with the main tarot deck that I'm going to work with this time around is this beautiful Meraki Tarot is what it's called. Meraki Tarot has just finished off its second Kickstarter, which means edition 2, version 2 or second edition is coming out at the end of the year. I am so excited to get my hands on that. I love my Meraki Tarot. So we're going to be using that one this month. I am partnering or pairing it with Oracle decks, and I have got the Divine Energy Oracle by Sonia, and I am also using the Angels and Ancestors Oracle by Kyle Gray. So I think with all of these, we're going to get really awesome readings, awesome messages. So the idea behind the tarot scopes is that I record 12 separate individual readings, one for each sign of the zodiac. So starting at Aries, going all the way through to Pisces and covering everybody in between. Before I start the recording, I do set the intention that it be appropriate or relevant for your sun, moon, and rising. So if you know a little bit about your astrology and you know what your moon sign is and you know what your rising sign is, if you watch those videos as well, it will give you a little bit more insight. I encourage you as well to watch the video for your family and friends. So if you want to know what's going on with your partner, if you want to know what's going on with anybody, in your life, you can check out their tarot scope as well to get a bit of insight into what they're dealing with. Because sometimes what I've noticed is if you're aware of what other people are going through, and if you're mindful of what's happening in their lives, you adjust your reaction or your response to them appropriately, which means communication gets easier, which means connection gets easier, which means relationship is easier. And so sometimes it's nice to know what kind of stuff the other person is going through, so that you understand yourself and you understand everybody else around you. And when we do that, we work in synergy with each other. And I think that's so important. If you want to know how to jump around, the way that I do it on YouTube is I do create a playlist. So there will be a June 2022 playlist that will have all 12 videos in it. But if you open up the little description below, I will have the links to each of the 12 videos in the description below. So it makes it easy for you to navigate and jump around. These videos are free, they are public, they are open to everybody. All I ask from you is, if you do enjoy the content, to give the video a thumbs up. A comment is always appreciated, and if you haven't already done so, consider subscribing to the channel. When you do that, subscribe to the channel and push the like button and comment, you're basically helping my channel grow on YouTube. You're helping to let YouTube know that, my content is not so bad, and that maybe YouTube should recommend me to other people. So if you want to help me, subscribe, like, and comment on the channel. And for those of you who have found the new, what they call super thanks feature and have used it, thank you. I'm so appreciative of the donations. I'm so appreciative of the show of support. It's not necessary for anybody to do, but I do appreciate everybody who has used the feature. It's a new feature on YouTube. It's only been on my channel for a couple of weeks, and I've already had quite a few people show their appreciation and their gratitude by dropping a little super thanks in the box, and I do appreciate every single one of you. So we're going to turn the camera around. We're going to get started off. And I look forward to seeing what May 2022 has in store for you. Hello, Taurus. Let's get into your reading and let's have a look and see what the month of June 2022 has in store for you. So I have the Angels and Ancestors deck in my hands. I'm going to give it just a little shuffle. We're starting off with this particular deck just to set the tone of the reading, to just sort of get a connection to spirit, just to see what it is that June has in store for you. So I did shuffle all the decks before I started recording, but I do like to just do a little shuffle while I have you on camera with me. So let's have a look. Taurus, message from Angels and Ancestors. Cutting the deck at the back there and taking that card. Let's have a look and see what comes through. Angels and Ancestors, what do you have to say to Taurus for the month of June 2022? We have got Guardian Angel reminding you that you are not alone. Oh, how beautiful is that? So quite interesting, Taurus. There's obviously a feeling of needing support, a feeling of needing to know that you are not alone. And this is, if you've been looking for a sign, if you have been looking for a message, this is it. And if you haven't been looking for a sign, if you haven't been questioning, I'm just going to shuffle the tarot while I'm talking about that. If you haven't been looking for a sign, or if you haven't been looking for a message, sometimes it's just nice to know that somebody's got your back, isn't it? Sometimes it's just nice to know that you're not alone in this world, and that somebody, you know, somebody's looking out for you. And I think with whatever, I mean, we obviously don't know yet what June has in store for you. We're going to see that very shortly. But maybe, oopsie, that was such a bad flop shuffle. But maybe sometimes whatever we're going through, whatever's going to come up for you during the month of June, maybe it's going to be kind of circumstances where you are going to need a little bit of support and to know that you're not alone. So we'll see how it plays through and what comes through with the rest of the cards. But I think Guardian Angel, to know that your Guardian Angel is near, I also think that gives you permission to ask your Guardian Angel for support. So if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, underwhelmed, a little bit nervous, a little bit apprehensive, a little bit scared, to know that your Guardian Angel is around and ready to help, ready to jump into action and to assist you with whatever you're dealing with. I think sometimes that is just so nice to know. All right, I am happy with my shuffle. Let's cut the deck, and I'm going to draw straight off the top. So I have got 9 questions, 9 prompts that we are going to be working through. So I'm going to lay down all 9 cards, and once I have them all laid down or laid out, I don't know what the right context is. Am I going to have enough space? Sorry, Guardian Angel, can I move you over a little bit? Thank you. So we got 5 on that row, and we're going to put 4 down here. So once I've got all 9 laid out, we will start with your reading. So Taurus, we're looking at June 2022. I'm leaving a gap over here because I do have another deck just off camera that I'm going to be putting into that space when we are done. So Taurus, let's get straight into it. We're going to start with this card over here. I like to start my readings off getting a kind of a snapshot of who you are at the first of the month. So considering this whole reading is for June 2022, this is you at the beginning of June, 1st of June 2022. Who are you? What are you? What are you dealing with? What is the energy around you? And Taurus, here we have the Knight of Swords. I love that. So here we have this beautiful butterfly who is holding a sword and is sort of, you can see by the swoosh of energy that the Knight of Swords, that they are rushing ahead, rushing forward, ready to tackle, ready to embrace, ready to do whatever needs doing. So it's almost like that that energy of no time to think, no time to strategize. Let's just do, go, 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 go. Okay. And the fact that we've got a guardian angel nearby, I do think is again confirmation that you don't need to worry too much. You don't need to be overly cautious or overly concerned, because the energy as you come into the month of June, it's an energy of action. It's an energy of let's get things done. Let's sort things out. Let's tidy up, clean up, and fix up. And let's do it quick, 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 quick. You know, here in South Africa, we have a beautiful saying where we say chop, chop. You know, let's do a chop, chop. Let's do it quick, quick. And that's definitely how you are coming in, or the way that you are starting the month off, with the sense of, almost a sense of urgency, almost a sense of, you know, let's just get busy. And I think that's quite exciting. Now we're going to have a look at, so that is how you come into the month. Now that you're in the month, now that we know how June starts off, let's have a look, Taurus, and have a look and see your theme for the month. So what is the theme that June 2022 has for you? And we've got the Knight of Cups. Interesting. We had the Knight of Swords, and now we've got the Knight of Cups. It's a very different energy, okay? Because suddenly everything's gentler. Suddenly everything is calmer. Suddenly everything is more, I almost want to say smoother, okay? I love how we've got this little bit of pink coming through across the bottom here, but there's definitely a calmness to this particular card. And I love how this little birdie at the top here holding this cup, and it seems to be pouring some magic down onto this bird. And that is exactly what the Knight of Cups is. The Knight of Cups is about showing emotion, showing big show of connection, big show of emotion. I like to say that the Knight of Cups is what I call the romantic card. It's saying, you know, and what does it mean if you're doing a romantic gesture? It's like you're bringing home a big bunch of flowers, or, you know, you're setting up a big dinner with fancy, you know, table layout, and it's about doing something over and above to show appreciation, to show acknowledgement for another. And that being the theme for the month of June for you. So it's either telling you that there are going to be times where you need to do that for somebody else, or it may be that you will be on the receiving end of it. But whatever it is, just know that your guardian angel is involved, and your guardian angel will be orchestrating. I do think with this Knight of Swords, the Knight of Swords is like swift action, okay? So if you have the thought to express yourself emotionally, to show emotion, like just jump into it and do it. Okay, just jump into it and do it. Our next card across, Taurus, is what you will accomplish during the month of June. So what is something that you will achieve or will accomplish during the month of June? And we have got the Five of Cups. So not really the kind of card we want to see for an accomplishment, but I think what it's telling you is that, because this is the card of disappointment, all right? Five of Cups is the card of disappointment. It's the card of things not quite panning out the way that you had hoped or expected them to, and dealing with the aftermath of that. But I think as something that you will accomplish, I think you will get over, you will accomplish overcoming disappointment. So that's the way that I am going to interpret that for you, Taurus, is that it's not that you will accomplish disappointment, but you're going to accomplish I can't think of words. I'm like tripping over my own tongue here. So let me start that again, Taurus. Give me a second. Let's start that again. So what you will accomplish during the month of June 2022 is to overcome any and all disappointment that may come your way during the month. Now, considering we've got the romantic card here, and considering we've got the swift action, sometimes swift action doesn't always work out the way that it needs to. Sometimes jumping in without a little bit of foresight, without a little bit of thinking, can, you know, not always yield the responses and the results that we're looking for. So if you do bump your head a few times during the month, it's okay. You will overcome it. It's not going to stop you. It's not going to be the end, and it's not going to be the final of the situation. You will overcome any and all disappointment that may come to you during the month, or any disappointment that you may be already feeling or experiencing. So however you came into the month, if you came into the month with carrying a little bit of disappointment, you're certainly going to overcome it during the month. Our next two cards are always, to me, the most interesting, because we've got something that you need to avoid this month and something you need to embrace this month. So let's have a look and see, Taurus, what is something that you need to avoid in June 2022. I have to laugh because it's funny. We've got the Sun card, and the Sun card is the card of happiness. It's the card of joy. It's the card of success. It's the card of abundance. It's really such a beautiful, positive card, but this is something that you need to avoid. So that's why I was laughing. It's like, how do you avoid happiness? And I'm not about telling anybody to avoid happiness. So what I'm hearing in my head connected to this, what your guardian angel and spirit are trying to say to you, Taurus, is everything that we do, okay, and I'm pointing to these two cards, everything that we do has a hopeful outcome. So when we do anything, especially when we show affection and emotion, especially when we do some kind of big gesture of respect or appreciation or acknowledgement, we have a certain outcome in mind, and that outcome in mind is happiness and success. Now, considering what you will accomplish is to overcome your challenges, your disappointments, I think what you need to avoid is the assumption that everything is going to be okay. That's the way that I'm interpreting the Sun card for you, is you need to avoid the assumption that everything's just going to be fabulous. We have disappointment. We are going to deal with disappointment. We are going to. We cannot avoid it. We're going to show affection. We're going to put ourselves out there. We're going to express ourselves. Now, when I talk about emotion here, I'm not only talking romantic, because let's just talk work, for example. Let's put this into the context of business, into the context of your employment. If you are working for an organization and maybe things are not so fabulous and you have ideas on how to improve, you have ideas on how to make better, you have ideas on how to, do something differently. It's a big show. You have to find the courage and the confidence to stand up and voice yourself, to express yourself, to explain yourself, okay, to put your idea forward. It may not work first time. You may suffer the disappointment. So don't always expect everything to work out exactly as you want it to, because if you do that, you are definitely setting yourself up for disappointment. We are going to overcome our disappointment. We are going to overcome our disappointments, but don't be so confident that you feel like you can, anything that you do is going to just work out. It doesn't always do that. So avoid going into something feeling overconfident. Good. Let's have a look at an obstacle that we need to, what to embrace. Sorry, that's the what to avoid, and this is what to embrace. So we need to avoid feeling super confident, and what should we embrace during June, Taurus? And we have got the Six of Pentacles. So you need to embrace assistance, help, guidance. And again, I'm giggling because in my head I am hearing that whatever I've been saying so far, that you've probably had the thought of, no, man, she's talking nonsense. I can figure it out. I can do this. Whatever it is that I need to do, I know that I will have success. I know that it'll work out for me. So this is assistance. So embrace any kind of offer, any kind of help, any kind of assistance that is offered to you during the month of June. So if you speak to somebody and you tell them, oh, you know what, I am going to do something big. I am going to put a proposal forward, or I am going to make a romantic gesture, or I am going to plan a surprise party for my partner, whatever it is. If you tell somebody about a plan and they say to you, you know what, let me help you because A, B, and C, don't think that you've got it all figured out. Just say, okay, that'll be cool. Thank you so much for helping me. Accept the help that is being offered. Embrace somebody stepping forward and assisting you in whatever way. And again, remember what I started off by saying when this guardian angel card came up. I said, sometimes it's nice to know that our guardian angel is there so that we know we can ask for assistance. And I think the fact that these two are right next to each other is no coincidence. I do think this is Spirit saying to you, there's a lot that you're going to be working with during the month of June. So Taurus, it's not going to be a laid back month. It looks like it's going to be quite a busy month for you. And don't feel like you have to do everything on your own. Don't feel like you have to figure it all out on your own. There are people around you, living or not, around you who can help you, who are ready, willing to assist and help you in whichever way you need. But all you've got to do is say yes, please, and thank you. Okay. So Taurus, yes, please, and thank you is your theme for the month. In order to have everything, or to have success in everything that you are doing. All right, Taurus, we're coming down the bottom here now. What we have down here now is an obstacle that you will definitely need to work through for the month of June. So what is an obstacle that you will absolutely need to work through during the month of June? And it is the Eight of Swords. So the Eight of Swords is feeling trapped, feeling caged, feeling restricted, feeling like you are stuck on the web and literally just waiting for your demise. But the truth of the matter is, you are not. If we look really closely, can you see that our little ladybird is not on the webs, but actually on this web of swords, which means that the stickiness of the web is not going to catch her, okay? So when you feel like you are caught, you're not actually. And this is an obstacle that you absolutely have to and will overcome during the month of June. And it's interesting because I have to say that this ties in beautifully with what we've got going on here. It's about you needing to do something big. It's about you needing to achieve something on a big scale, show appreciation, support, acknowledgement, emotions around a situation. There is going to be a little bit of disappointment that we need to accomplish. We need to get over that. And you're not going to get over it by succumbing to perceived circumstances. So Taurus, it's very important that you, recognize the potential danger that is right here with you, but don't let that danger restrict or limit you. Don't fall victim to that. Don't also assume that you're going to find your way out of it. When necessary, call on help. Call on help and say, hey, I'm stuck. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to achieve, but I'm sort of stuck. Can somebody help me? And maybe, I know this is very unlikely, but maybe our precious spider over here is coming to help you and not coming to eat you. I know, highly unlikely, I know. But maybe the spider doesn't come through, and maybe one of these birds is going to come through and save you and help you. All right. Next card we have, Taurus. What we're looking at here is, and I'm hoping and I'm almost sure that it's going to tie in with these two cards here, because this is the card of support. So what support is available to you during the month of June, Taurus? Let's have a look. Support that's available to you, we have got the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands is quite an interesting one. So here we have a bear. You can see that it's getting a bit cold. You can see it looks like there's a bit of snow falling. And that's when our bears should be hibernating. But our little bear over here, he wasn't able to find a cave. So he's trying to build himself some kind of an enclosure where he knows that he will be safe and secure during his hibernation. It's not his forte, okay? I mean, bears don't build caves, okay? They don't build enclosures. But this particular bear, let's just see what he gets up to. You can see that he's holding a stick. We've got this gap over here where these haven't quite connected. So he's just about done. All he really needs to do is just to close this gap. And if he closes this gap, he's going to be safe. He's going to be secure. So the Nine of Wands is the card that says to you, you're feeling absolutely exhausted. You have put your heart and soul into everything that you've done, and you're so close to finishing, but you still have questions, you still have doubt, you still have insecurities in your mind. The message that comes through here, the support that's available to you, is when you're trying to do the impossible, and a bear creating a cave structure for themselves is practically impossible. So when you're dealing with the impossible, when you're trying to do the impossible, that is when you can call on your guardian angel. Don't try to do the impossible on your own. Okay, Taurus? And I know that's difficult for all Taurus energy. I know it's so difficult for Taurus energy. You know, Taurus energy like to do things on your own. You like to be, you know, confident and capable. We don't like to lean on other people for assistance. But the support that's available to you is just when you feel like, you know what, I don't know if I can do this. That's when you reach out for your guardian angel or for anybody that's around you. And if they offer support, you just say yes, please, and thank you. Simple as that. Yes, please, and thank you. Good. We're next looking at action. So what is an action that you absolutely need to carry through in the month of June? What is an activity or an action that you need? And we have got the Eight of Cups. So this is getting very interesting, Taurus, because the Eight of Cups is about recognizing what you have, looking at your circumstances honestly and realistically. These circumstances could be relationship, could be work, could be finances, could be health, could be social, any aspect of your life. But it's about taking a long, hard, honest stock take, if I may use those words, of your situation and recognizing that it doesn't quite work. Because here we've got a line of 4, we've got a line of 3, and we've got this 1. But this way, it just doesn't seem to fit. So there's something missing. And our bird is now acknowledging that there's something missing, acknowledging that something's not adding up, something's not right. And our bird is now finally saying, all right, let me go and look. Let me go and see if I can find the missing piece of the puzzle. So an action, Taurus, that you absolutely have to do, that you have to initiate, that you have to action in the month of June is to, first of all, acknowledge to yourself that things aren't great. Acknowledge to yourself that things aren't perfect. Acknowledge the disappointments with that you needing to overcome. And the action is to act on it. To not just sit there and feel like you're going to die, not just sit there and feel like, okay, it's a worthless exercise, but to actually take flight and go and look and explore to see what else you can find that may complete that which you already have. So that is an action. It is about seeking, it is about looking, it is about exploring, but you can't do that until you acknowledge your reality, acknowledge your situation. And finally, Taurus, our final tarot card is the card of just additional advice from Spirit. So additional advice for the month of June 2022, and we have got the Temperance card. So the Temperance card is the card of balance. It's the card of yin and yang. It's the card of as above, so below. It's the card of recognizing that we mustn't put too much effort into one area of life and ignore others. It's the card that says, understand that there has to be a give and take in everything in life. And if you're giving too much or taking too much, you're creating imbalance. And when there is imbalance, there is going to be disappointment. So don't be so quick to rush into anything, Taurus. We need to make sure that we're questioning and thinking, looking honestly at our circumstance, looking honestly, accepting the help that is available to you all the time, and not just feeling like you are the victim. All right. You need to understand that often in life, things don't go according to plan. And don't be so sure of yourself all the time. We need to keep ourselves in check, but we do need to do the work. We do need to put ourselves out there, because if you don't put yourself out there, if you don't make the effort to change your circumstances, it's never going to happen for you. Okay. It's never going to happen for you. So Taurus, I now have our final deck, which is the Divine Energy Oracle. And again, I have shuffled before I started the recording, but I just want to give it a little shuffle now that we know what June 2022 is about for you. Now that we know what you have in store for you, let's just see what card wants to come through. And these cards don't have images on them. They just have text. And they're often short, sweet, to the point, but really, really beautiful text messages. So let's have a look and see what comes through for you. Cutting all the way back there, apparently. Taking that one. Let's have a look and see, Taurus. Final message for you for the month of June 2022. Choose your friends wisely. Exactly. You know what? And I think that ties in with everything that we have covered. It ties in with recognizing that, you have choice. And you mustn't always just assume that everybody that's around you is appropriate and valid. Maybe it's about recognizing that there are friends who will help you at a moment's notice, and then there are friends that will eat you at a moment's notice. Who's going to come and help you in your moment of darkness? Who's going to help you look for whatever is missing in your life? Who brings you balance in your life? Choose your friends wisely. So I do think, Taurus, that's a really valid final message from Spirit for each one of you for the month of June. So it looks like you've got quite an interesting month ahead, and I'm going to encourage you to please come back to this video halfway through the month, just as a reminder, just to reconnect, just to re-identify because you'll have more idea of what you're dealing with. So yeah, do come back to this video during the month, and just as a reminder and a recap. And if anything like crazy happens, comment below, let me know. I'd love to hear how this plays out for you. All right, Taurus, thank you for being here with me. Thank you for allowing me to guide you on your journey of life. With love and blessings from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, Take care, Taurus.